Hi, my name is Ryan Weems, R&D Automotive Service Advisor for BG Products. This is a how-to video for the BG gasoline direct injected intake valve cleaning procedure. The steps of this procedure are going to change depending on the engine, the make and model of the vehicle that you're going to be working on. So make sure that you read the instructions before you do the service. The first thing we need to do is get this engine up to operating temperature. For the best performance of this service, the engine must be above 100 degrees. While the engine is getting to operating temperature, I'm going to check for any diagnostic codes. If there are any codes, I'm going to note them and clear them. After the engine's up to operating temperature, we're going to turn it off. The next step is we're going to remove the intake to gain access to the intake valves. We're also going to remove the spark plugs. Now that we have the intake spark plugs removed, we can continue with the cleaning procedure. We're going to use a two-part kit, BG Gasoline Direct Injection Cleaner Part 1 and Part 2. We're going to start with cleaner Part 1. We're going to put approximately 1 ounce of cleaner on each valve of the engine. We need to make sure that the valve is closed. If the valve's not closed, we can rotate the engine manually to make sure that they're closed. After we make sure the valves are closed, we're going to use approximately 1 ounce of cleaner number 1 per intake port. I'm going to add 1 ounce of cleaner 1 to the valve chamber. I made sure that the valve is closed. I'm going to let it soak for 30 minutes. It's only been 15 minutes, but I'm going to use this brush to scrub the valve. I bent the brush at 90 degrees so I can get the backside of the valve. Then I'm going to allow the valve chamber to soak for another 15 minutes. At the end of the 30-minute soak procedure, I'm going to scrub the valve once again. After the 30-minute soak time, I'm going to remove cleaner number 1 with a vacuum pump. At this point, I'm going to add approximately 1 ounce of cleaner 2 to the same valve chamber. Cleaner number 2 does not require a soak time. Then I'm going to take my brush and scrub the valve again. After I scrub the valve, I'm going to use a vacuum pump and remove the chemical. Now we want to rotate the engine to close and clean the rest of the valves. If the valves need further cleaning, repeat the cleaning procedure as necessary. After all the valves have been cleaned, we want to crank the engine over to remove any remaining product to avoid possible engine damage. Now that we've cleaned each intake port, we're going to reinstall the intake components and the spark plugs. At this point, it's necessary to change the oil. Also add BG 44K and MOA. Routine preventative maintenance with BG 44K and MOA will reduce the carbon buildup in gasoline direct injected engines. Once again, we're going to check and clear codes. To complete the service, I'm going to take this vehicle for a 10-mile test drive.